200 meters at IM. In 1, we have Tandy Bosman. 2, Morgan Close. 3, Sophia French. 4, Kira van Heerden. 5, Carla Myberg. 6, Ava Lorenzen. And 7, Zoe Griffiths. Looks like Van Heerden turning first, 29.74.
Second heat of the women's 200 IM for this fantastic day of swimming here in Quebec. Backstroke done and dusted as they transition now to breaststroke.
Myberg, Van Heerden, and French both turning on 106. Breaststroke, such an important leg in the 200 meters iron. Let's see who's going to make their move.
So another tight race here. As we move over to the final leg, nothing to choose between those front runners. This is a terrific performance so far. Morgan Coates out in the second lane. Another Eastern Caper looking good. Said Morgan Coates. It is Sophia French leading the way over in lane 3.
Yes, the battle seems to be in the middle of the pool between French, Van Heerden, and Myberg.
This is a glorious swim from Sophia French, and she will power her way to first place.
Sophia French, 2:21.24, followed by Carla Myberg, 2:21.99, and Kira van Heerden, 2:22.47. Results of Heat 2 of 4.
So that's 2 events down, 2 to go in the heats of the women's 200 IM. Of course, we'll move over to men after that. 6 heats taking place. And there is one of the stars from last night, Amy Canny in picture. What a performance from her last night.
Yes, I mean, starting this year's Commonwealth Trials off with a bang. 200 freestyle, 156, which was also a new South African and African record. So well done to Amy. Backing that up with a 100 meters breaststroke, another qualification time. Let's see what she can do this morning in the 200 IM. Heat 3 of 4 in the water. Lane 1, Tyra Penn. 2, Dana Robson. 3, Juliana Venka. 4, Amy Canny. 5, Catherine Williams. 6, Kayla Host. And in 7, Zuraya Fenta.
Have another Eastern Cape athlete in the water over in lane 6, 17-year-old Kayla Host.
Amy Canny turning first in 29.73.
halfway through this third heat of the women's 200 IM. "26 athletes in total competing from the Eastern Cape. Without a doubt, the resounding lead of the athletes representing Aquatics Gauteng Tshwane, 116 in total.
But it's all Amy Canny turning in a time of 1:43.99, followed by Catherine Williams, 1:50.15.
She really has been the story of the meet so far, has Amy Canny.
It's Amy looking very comfortable and controlled in this morning heat swim.
And what a performance there from Amy Canny, cruising to victory, 2:16.21. As far as the qualifying time for Glasgow is concerned, 2:12.83. Of course, she was well outside that, but she was cruising towards the end.
Followed by Catherine Williams, 2:23.19, and Kayla Close, 2:23.75.
So that was the penultimate heat for the women's 200 IM. Of course, then we'll welcome the men for the first time today to Pool Deck. Heat 4 of 4 about to get underway. Moving down from lanes 1 to 8, Kaylin White, Kirsten Stork, Caitlin Evans, Rebecca Meader, Georgia Els, Kate Mayer, Megan Shepherd, and Isabella McColgan.
And we seem to be having a bit of an issue with lane 4's block. So Amy struggling not so long ago with that, and now Rebecca seems to be having the same issue again. A little bit sticky, so can't really move it.
Still adjusting. Everyone looks to be happy now.
So Rebecca is the South African and African record holder in this event. Let's see how hard she's going to push this morning.
Final heat of the women's 200 IM. As you heard, Rebecca Meader, the one to keep an eye out, and wow, look at her getting off to a flying start once again. Of course, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and finishing off for free.
A 2 body lengths on the rest of the field. That is Rebecca, 27.78.
Sensational start for Rebecca Meader.
So it looks like she's going to be going for it this morning. So 2:12.83 is the time we'll be looking for. In second place, we currently have Georgia Els. But it's Meader, 1:02.12. Followed by Els, 1:07.21. And Caitlin Evans, 1:08.22.
Being cheered on by the crowd, Rebecca Meader absolutely dominating matters here in the final heat of the women's 200 IM. Heard Chanel speak about her record, 2:10.39, set last year in this. 2:8.76 rather.
So that's a 1:40.76. So she needs to come back in a 31 high for this freestyle leg.
2:12.83 is that magic number.
It's going to be close.
She gets inside.
She gets it by 0.01.
Wow.
Well done, Rebecca Meader.
The crowd certainly acknowledge her. What a performance from Rebecca Meader. 2:12.83 is what she needed. 2:12.82 is what she got.
Rebecca Meader on that Commonwealth qualifying time.
Amazing performance from Rebecca Meader.
In second place, we had Georgia Els, 2:22.56, and Caitlin Evans, 2:22.62.
Man, that was fantastic from Rebecca Meader. What a way to kick things off. A qualifying time in the heats. And the women's 200 IM, Rebecca Meader doing the business as we now welcome the men for the first time today. First up, 4 swimmers in action. Giancarlo Raccanello, Jaden Williams, Yurui Gordon-Yang, and Ethan Hamblock.
And our first heat of the main 200 meter IM on the way.
Looks like Jaden Williams leading the field after the butterfly, 27.28. It's all the 17-year-old from the Western Cape, Jaden Williams. Followed by closely by Giancarlo and Gordon. Jaden Williams, 101.79.
Yeah, lovely start here for Jaden Williams midway through this men's 200 IM. The opening heat of 6. "60 athletes from the Western Cape. Second most participants here in the backup. Jaden Williams, 17 years of age, turns for the final time, coming home. Now,
It's Williams, followed by Yang and Raccanello, currently in third position. "15 meters to go. It's Jaden Williams, the 17-year-old from the Western Cape.
brilliantly done from Jaden Williams, capturing the victory in the opening heat of the men's 200 IM, doing so in 2:15.32. Yurui Gordon-Yang coming in second, Giancarlo Raccanello third.
Results of Heat 1 of 6 in the men's 200 meters IM.
Next up, Heat 2 of the men's 200 IM.
In 1, we had Jaden Wills. 2, Connor Lagazik. 3, Adam Franken. 4, Jet Hine. 5, Luanta Blanche. 6, David Bigot. 7, Neil Halshausen. And in 8, Jean-Luca Torricelli.
And in they go for the second of 6 heats in the men's 200 IM. Good start out in lane 1 by Jaden Wills. Also, David Wiggett looking very powerful. So it's Wills just out in front of Wiggett. Backstroke it is. And it is Wiggett now leading the way. Being pushed hard though from lane 3 by Adam Fradkin. This is getting interesting, Chanel.
Yes, looks like all the breaststrokers are starting to make their move now. I'm not so sure if breaststroke is Wiggett's strongest stroke, but he is hanging in there. Neil Halshausen also starting to make his move.
Yeah, Wiggett still out in front, only just though. Nothing like that earlier performance in the women's heats where Rebecca Meader completely dominated matters. This is a far tighter affair.
Looks like the swimmer from the Western Cape, 17-year-old Luanta Blanche, starting to turn on the gas with 15 meters to go. With that being said, Connor Legasic out in lane 2, also pushing.
This is going to be great. What a finish that was. Wow.
Looks like Luanta Blanche, 2:14.58, followed by Connor Legasic, 2:14.67.
Man, that was superb.
Miss, what a swim by those two athletes. Heat 3 of 6. In lane 1, Caleb Eaton. 2, Jake Balaguero. 3, Patrick Lamb. 4, Corne LaRue. 5, Sven van der Linde. 6, Carlo Brits. 7, Troy Vessels. And 8, Ruan Hutton.
Youngest competitor in the pool, Caleb Eaton out in Heat 1. Swimmer from Gauteng, Johannesburg. And the oldest is over in lane 4, Corne LaRue, the Swan swimmer.
Looks like Patrick Lamb out in lane number 3 with a slight lead, followed by everybody.
Hard to say the name Patrick Lamb without thinking of Patrick Lambie, the former Springbok. Great fullback, flower for the Sharks. Patrick Lamb is a great swimmer, as we can witness right now. If you have just joined us, it is day 2 of the Mbombela Concession Cup National Swimming Champs. We are currently in the 3rd of 6 heats in the men's 200 IM.
Sven van der Linde taking over the lead. Patrick Lamb currently in 2nd.
So Jake Balaguero looking very strong, but over in lane 5, look at him go.
Van der Linde.
Sven van der Linde power his ways home to a fantastic victory in this third heat. Doing so in a time of 2:12.57.
Just trying to think back. Where did Jake Borrodiero come from?
Yeah, wow. It was,
It was
a
all-
tremendous finish from him.
Yeah, so it was all pretty even after the backstroke. So he must have had a great breaststroke leg.
And away they go for this, the fourth of 6 heats in the men's 200 IM. Carl Evans, Manu Kukmur, Marnus rather, Kai Whelan, Ken Helock, Matthew Randall, Matthew Mann, Daniel Wilson, and Gerard February. Gerard February allowed to compete in April.
Did you really just say that?
Second of 4 legs underway. Looking good out in lane 4. Only just Kian Helock.
Followed closely by Matthew Mann out in 6.
Yeah, Matthew Mann actually beat him to the turn there.
As we move on to the breaststroke leg, you know, this is one of Kian's stronger strokes. So let's see what he can do here. With that being said, Matthew Randall hot on his heels.
This is a terrific performance so far from those front runners. Randall and Helock going on very, very nicely as they turn for the final time. Helock out in front, only just. Can he maintain that lead? Matthew Randall fighting hard. Randall coming back. This is going to be an exceptional finish.
Matthew.
And Randall gets it ahead of Helock. Kai Whelan grabbing third.
It's Matthew touching in a time of 2:06.40, followed by Kian Helock 2:06.56, and Kai Whelan 2:09.02.
Wow, look at this finish from Matthew Randall. Man, that was tight.
Head down, straight arms, gave him the edge in the end. Heat 5 of 6, lane 1, Jonathan Heslop. 2, Halfart Miller. 3, Willem Roos. 4, Cameron Casali. 5, Juan Boshoff. 6, Jonathan Els. 7, Juan Nal. And 8, Tian De Beer.
Carla Meiber, Kira van Heerden, Georgia Els, Caitlin Evans, and Catherine Williams.
Looks like Casali with slightly 26.74.
Kate Meyer, Megan Shepherd,
Followed by Boshoff,
Dana Robinson,
27.42.
Ava Lorenzen,
And Halfart Miller,
Coast,
27.48.
Tandy Bosman. First reserve will be Zoe Griffiths. Second reserve will be Kirsten Storm. Please remember, team managers, the instructions for this event will close in 30 minutes. Thank you.
Heading towards the midway point of this, the fifth heat of the men's 200 IM.
Looks like Halfart Miller, 58.47. We know he has a very strong backstroke. followed by Boshoff 58.85 and Kasali 59.01.
Funny, I mentioned about Patrick Lamb a little earlier, saying it's hard to think about him without thinking of Patrick Lambie. Helgard Muller, there was a very, very famous Free State sensei who was also captain named Helgard Muller. Possible to think about anyone without saying that name, without thinking about the famous Helgard Muller. But this one also very good swim in his own right. Oh, wow, that is very tight between Kasali and Boshoff. Boshoff just slightly ahead as they come back for their final leg.
Looks like Kasali with a slight lead on Boshoff.
Will we have another finish like we saw earlier? Is there a fight back? Oh, Kasali holding on, 206.79. Boshoff 207 on the button. Jonathan Alves grabbing third.
Results in the men's 200 meter IM, heat 5 of 6. As we look back at that finish,
As we move over now to the final heat in the men's 200 IM. Keanu Diedrichs, Nick Troer, Zane Niemann, Carl Albertine, Beatrice Trutter, Claudia Cometa, Ting Wei Deng, and Daniel Morel.
Nick Trower really taking it out in this butterfly leg, turning a time of 26.95, followed by Carl Albertine 27.09 and Beatrice Trutter 27.44.
Backstroke time for the competitors. Final heat of the men's 200 IM. Nice performance out in lane 2 by Nick Trower. But Carl Albertine very, very strong over in lane 4.
Yes, Albertine coming in with the entry time of 2:01.60. That's about 5 seconds on the rest of the field. But again, it's a heat swim. If you have a lane, you have a chance. Let's see how many of these gents can get a PB in this event.
Yeah, we saw quite a few outside lanes doing very well yesterday.
It's Albertine turning at the 150 meter mark, 135.19, followed by Beatrice Stritter, 137.75, and Zane Niemann currently in third, 139.14.
Carl Albertine going along very, very nicely. Looks like it's going to be a battle for second place. And as we say that, Beatrice Trutter coming through nicely. But there, Carl Albertine grabbing the victory, 206.02. Beatrice Trutter coming through in second position. And Zane Niemann wrapping up third.
Looks like there was a tie between Niemann and Trower, 209.62.
Next in line, we have event 203, the women 100 meter butterfly
Moving on to
multiclass.
event number 203, that's the women's 100 meter butterfly S1 to S15. We'll have 2 athletes competing in this one. Minka Janse van Rensburg in lane 4 and Zora Bethref in 5. Just flexing for the camera.
Lovely. Zora Bekarif, S18 competitor. swimming out of Atlantic Scouting Johannesburg. And there we have the one and only Minka Janse van Rensburg. Seeding time of 1:39.57 for her. Minka only world record when it comes to 50 free, 100 free, 200 free. Also the 50 fly, in fact. And look at her powering on once again from Minka Janse van Rensburg. She really has been absolutely sensational over the last couple of years.
Well, we will be seeing Minka a little bit later in the program competing in the 50 meters freestyle. So let's see what she can do there.
So make the turn 38.29. Another great performance from Minka Janse van Rensburg. Worth reminding once again, it's not a straight-out race between these competitors, given the fact that it is a multi-class event. They are competing against the clock. Minka Janse van Rensburg on her way to the finish now.
So with that being said, Zora also starting to pick up the stroke rate, bringing in the legs. Great swim there by Minka, 1:37.25. So going 2 seconds faster than her entry time.
And coming through now, Zora Viekarif. Boom, she gets there, 1:51.56.
Results of heat 1 of 1 in the women's 100 meters butterfly, S1 to S15. Moving on to the men. In 2, Leon Kutsia. In 3, Damon Alberon. 4, Nathan Hendricks. 5, Tienta Blanche. 6, James Villas. 7, JP No. Just waiting for the ladies to clear the pool. Then we'll move on to the men. It's 100 meters butterfly, S1 to S15.
Start, unfortunately, over in lane 6.
Yes, there seemed to be a little technical error with the starting gun. I don't think it was on, so he quickly had to run back to put it on. And by that time, I think, yeah.
We are going to have clarification now from the marshals. Also, of course, a big thank you to them picking up their time to ensure this event goes swimmingly, pardon the pun.
What are with all these things today? So the judge just explaining to the athletes.
A thumbs up. That's certainly something you want to see from a
Yeah.
judge.
Yes, also with the new rules coming into play not so long ago, there is a 2-start rule now. So the swimmers do get a second chance.
Right. Take two. And in they go for this men's 100 fly multi-class S1, S15 from lanes 2, Leon Kutzer, Damon Alborn, Nathan Hendricks, Tianta Blanche, James Willard, and JP Mel. Great start out in lane 4 from Nathan Hendricks.
Nathan turning in a time of 28.11, followed by Tianta Blanche, 31.33, and Damon Alberon, 31.71.
Nathan Hendricks, a man who certainly needs no introduction, powering his way to a resounding time, doing so in 1:00:43. That was fantastic from Nathan Hendricks. Over in lane 4, Alborn, a 1:11:19. James Willers, unfortunately, of course, he did have that false start earlier, redeemed himself in emphatic fashion, doing so in 1:11:52.
And now we are ready to start with event 05, women
Now we move over
100
now
meter butterfly.
To fly. 5 heats in the women's competition. First up, heat 1. 3 competitors about to take to the pool. Ava Lorenzen, Tandy Bosman, and Sophia Trout. And in they go. Lorenzen, Bosman, and Trout. This is going to be a quick swim. Just over a minute for these swimmers. After the fly, we've got the short stuff. A lot of 50s. And we'll wrap things up with some of the longer ones. 1500 free. So the swimmer from the Eastern Cape, Tandy Bosman, just 14 years of age. Currently out in front. We have Ava Lorenzen and Sophia Trout. Tandy Bosman absolutely flying, and she will capture the victory in this first heat. 1:07.53 for one of the local favorites. Moving over now to the second heat in the women's 100 fly. Kaylin White, Sophia French, Kirsten Storm, Morgan Coates, Nelvin Skalkbeck, Ashley Skulls, and Jessie
final this
Ladera.
afternoon. Carl Kertijn, Matthew Randall, Kian Kilok, Cameron Casali, Yuan Bosov, Beatrice Streeter, Kai Whelan, and Jonathan Owls. Swimmers for B final. Nikki Tower,
Very powerful start there
Zayn
for
Liman,
Knef and
Matthew
Skalkbeck.
Mann, Daniel Wilson, Alfred
Turning
Miller,
at 29.69
Claudia
ahead of Morgan
Dometer,
Coates.
Marno Kukamur,
Sophia
and
French
Sven van
on
der
lane
Linde.
2, lying in third
First
for now.
reserve will be Juan Nel, and second reserve, Jay Coragero. Please remember, the scratchings for this event will close in 30 minutes. Thank you.
Van Skalksbeek going along very, very well in lane 5. And she will power away to the finish, doing so in a time of 1:03.82. Second place going to Sophia French. Morgan Host capturing third. Now we move over to the third of 5 heats in the women's 100 fly. Jarl Viljoen, Carla Mikla, Kira van Heerden, Jamie Moat, Cora Noblosh, Tana Lindsay, Megan Hesse, and Dana Robinson. Nice tight start amongst these competitors. Jamie Moat being challenged well by Lee McMorrin. Jamie Moat challenged by Cora Noblosh, rather. Cora Noblosh going along very, very nicely. The swimmer from the Western Cape. This is going to be tight, but Noblosh firing away, and she will capture the win, doing so in 1:01.88. Jamie Moat second. Kira van Heerden grabbing third. And in they go for the fourth of 5 heats in the women's 100 fly. Anna Stewart, Ruth Ridge, Janae Kutsia, Abigail Quarter, Lee McMorrin, Cassidy Burgess, Gemma Roman, and Rebecca Fury. As I say that, I see there is no lane 6 competitor now, so no Cassidy Burgess.
The battle is on in the middle of the pool between Abigail Kutsa, Janae Kutsia, Lee McMorrin. Looks like Abigail with a slight lead over Kutsa. But with that being said, here comes McMorrin. Oh, what a great finish. But it is Abigail Kutsa 1:02.06, followed by Lee McMorrin 1:02.13, and Janae Kutsia 1:02.18. Results of heat number 4 of 5 in the women's 100-meter butterfly. Heat 5 of 5. Lane 1, Kendra Begley. 2, Christine Vessels. 3, Tennille Baptiste. 4, Erin Gallagher. 5, Anya Fanace. 6, Juliana Venka. 7, Mara Vidira. And 8, Maddie Higgs. Erin Gallagher looking great at the 50-meter mark, 27.73. followed by Anya van Ace, 28.53, and Danielle Baptiste, 28.72. Aaron looking for a qualification time of 58.33. Aaron looking very controlled with about 3 meters to go. 58.97. Great morning swim there by Aaron Gallagher, followed by Anya van Ace, 101.51, and Tennille Baptiste, 101.97. Results in the women's 100-meter butterfly final heat. I think there's a little bit of an issue with the lane placement. There isn't supposed to be an athlete in lane one, but looking at it, I think he could be P2 lane one, Keanu Dedricks, the 18-year-old from KZN. Possibly came out slightly early. Yes, it is. He's supposed to be in P2. Slight error there on his part, but all is good. So heat one of 8 in the men's 100 meters butterfly. In 3, Philip Leroux. 4, Carl Evans. 5, Juliana Racanello.
And in the
Big
water,
thank you to
we
all of our
have
sponsors,
heat one
Sumitra
now
Africa,
for event
Wendela
206
Concession
of
Company,
the 100 meter
SPG,
butterfly.
Saskok Arena, National Lottery, Southern Sun, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture for making this event happen. Philip Leroux turning first in a time of 28.09, followed by Kyle Evans, 29.76, and Juliana Roccanello, 30.01. Philip Leroux with a great swim out in lane number 3. His entry time 1:13.21. He's definitely going to dip under that mark today. And it is LaRue from the Free State touching in a time of 102.23, followed by Kyle Evans, 102.73, and Juliana Racanello, 104.51. Results in Heat 1 on your screen. As we dive into Heat 2, Lane 1, Keanu Dedricks. 2, Josh Erasmus. 3, Trent Norton. 4, Clayton Cassabon. 5, Evie Peters. 6, Keonta Blanche. 7, Hayden Fish. Great start out in lane number 4, Clayton Cassabon, turning a time of 26.80, followed by Trent Norton, 27.07, and Keanu Dedricks, 27.77. Joshua Rasmus out in lane number 2, 17-year-old from Aquatics Gauteng 20, starting to make his move. Cassabom fighting back hard. But it is Joshua Rasmus, 58.68, followed by Clayton Cassabom, 58.87, and Trent Norton, 1 minute, 0.14. Lineup for heat number 3. Jonathan Brady, Christian Thomas, Slate King, Jeremiah George, William Basson, Dylan Smith, Gideon Wilmerans, Adam Theron. And it is Dylan Sistrich turning in a time of 27.21. It looks like Jonathan Brady got his hands to the wall first, 26.81. Great swim out in lane 1 by Brady. Coming back strong, we have Willem Basson. It looks like Jonathan Brady, 57.82, followed by Willem Basson, 57.88, and Sistinich, 58.10. Results for heat 3 of 8. Andre Lewitz, Travis Gross Mitchell, Colin DeWard, Kruger Hanazak, Gournay LaRue, Jordan Harrison, Shane van der Linde, and in 8 we have Colin Salibuko. Great start out in lane 1 by Andre Lewitz, 17-year-old from the Western Cape.
These races are certainly fast and furious. The 100 fly. Lane 1 leading the way. Andre Lutz ahead of Kriya Hanacek. Kriya starting to make his presence felt now. Kriya swimming out of Limpopo. And this is a very, very good swim from him. It's going to be tight, but he grabs it. Kriya Hanacek doing so in a time of 57.08, second place. That was Travis Gross Mitchell. First one going the way. No less than 8 heats in the men's 105, very popular event.
Heat 5 on the blocks. Yannikov Probla, Luke Pastel, Aiden Godfrey, Derek Hayes, Clayton Mungambe, JC Kutsia, Ting Wei Deng, and Jonathan van der Merwe. All of these men coming in with a pretty even time of 57 across the board. So this is setting up to be a great race. Looks like Johan van der Merwe out in lane number 8. 26-17. Looks like we're going to have another outside lane stamping its authority on this event. And it
Wow.
looks like Van der Merwe out in lane number 8, 55-49, followed by Janko.
What a performance there from Johan van der Merwe from the Western Cape, 20 years of age. 55-49.
Looks like Janko Krobler second, 57-20. Or possibly Lucas out, 57-17. 0.03 separating second and third position.
It is the sixth heat now of the men's 100 fly. Really do fly through these events. Very, very quick. Michael van Heerden, Joshua Emsley, Matthew Pretorius, Tylee Pearson, Jordan Eaton, Kai Wheeler, Luke Bierkus, and Jonathan Els.
Looks like the two swimmers in the middle lane, Tylee Pearson, Jordan Eaton. And it is Tylee Pearson, 24-54, followed by Jordan Eaton, 25-13. Matthew Pretorius currently in third, 26-26.
A great fight here. A maximum competitors out in front in
Looks like
lane
Eaton.
5. Jordan Eaton grabbing the win, 52-76 ahead of Ty Pearson. Luke Bierkus finishing third.
That's Jordan, 52-76, followed by Tylee Pearson, 53-50, and Joshua Emsley. Heat 7 of 8, Joshua Esterhuizen, Nicholas Pretorius, Eben van der Merwe, Ruud van Reenen, Caden Naidu, Eric Kutza, Guy Vessels, and Neil Berger.
Great start so far for Ruud van Reenen.
24-82 at the 50-meter mark, followed by Caden Naidu, 25-3.
Of course, Ruud was one of the swimmers that booked their ticket to Glasgow last night, finishing second in the men's 100 backstroke. Behind Peter Kutsia, of course, both of them having swam those qualifying times. And this is a great fight back in lane 5 by Caden Naidu. But out in front, it is Ruud van Reenen who captures the win, 53-33, ahead of Caden Naidu. Eben van der Merwe finishing third. And there we do have confirmation. Another great swim from Ruud van Reenen. As we move over now to the final group, and we do have an outstanding group of swimmers, including one Chad Leclos, gold medalist from London. Can never forget that epic battle against Michael Phelps, the 200 line. Sean Gibson, Christian Estes and Chris Mielov, Chad Leclos, Anthony Peterson, Benjamin Plattner, Jared Fairweather, and Kai Binsbergen. No surprise, Chad does have the African record in this event. And pulling away nicely is Leclerc. 2 years ago, celebrating his 32nd birthday during this event.
Chad turning a time of 24.23, followed by Benjamin Plattner, 25.36.
Fantastic performance so far from Chad Leclerc. And his closest competitor, Chris Melov, on his outside over in lane 3. But Leclerc,
Turning off the gas, not very long finish, 53.21. Followed by Chris Mialov, 54.13. And Benjamin Plattner, 55.23.
nicely done by Chad Leclerc, taking it easy there. Qualifying time, incidentally, quite a bit out of it, but of course he did take off the afterburners at the end. Qualifying time for that event, 5:177. As we wave goodbye to the 100 fly competitors now. Now we're moving on to the short stuff.
No, I'm happy, thanks. Chai latte.
Now going to be moving over to the very fast and furious races. 50 backstroke now.
Chai latte.
As the officials are getting the backstroke wedges ready.
And that concludes the 100-meter butterfly.
We also
for
have
the
to say a
morning.
big thank you to
Ready to
our
start
officials,
with event
moms,
207,
dads,
the
aunts,
women
uncles,
50
helping out at
meter
this event, because
backstroke.
without them, it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, without a doubt. Always great to see them giving up their time to ensure these events are such a huge success. As we move over to the first of 6 heats in the women's 50 backstroke. 3 competitors in the water. Rebecca Kuhn in lane 3, Joel Falun in 4, and Tiana Coast, the Eastern
Event
Caper in
205,
lane
women
5.
100-meter butterfly swimmers for a final this afternoon. Erin Gallagher, Anya van As, Cara Moblau, Danielle Baptiste, Abigail Kortzer, Lee McMorrin,
And a very good performance there from Tiana Coast. Local
The
favourite,
final swimmers, Clara van
just edging
Diller,
ahead.
Christine Wessels, Cornay van Skalkwyk, Juliana Finger, Annabelle
Yes, the
Stewart,
16-year-old from the Eastern
Tana
Cape having a
Lindsay,
great
Joel
swim, but
Falun,
Joel
Mara
Falun
Budoya.
fighting back.
First reserve will be Sophia
And in the end,
Orange. Second
Tiana
reserve,
Coast,
Maddie Hicks.
captaining
Please remember
1:32.09
distractions for this
ahead
event
of
will
Falun
close in 30
and
minutes.
On your screen, the winner of Heat 1 of 6 in the women's 50-meter backstroke, Sienna Hoos. Heat 2 of 6, lane 1, Lisa Marie Davidson. 2, Kaylin White. 3, Ava Newton. 4, Rachel Sherrod. 5, Amy Combrick. 6, Tori Vogue. 7, Jessie Lee Ladderach. And 8, Julia Luntman.
And away they go. Second of 6 heats in the women's 50 backstroke. Very good start out in lane 1 by Lisa Marie Davidson. Davidson, can she maintain that lead? And she does. 31.29 ahead of Tori Vogue and Amy Combrick.
Up next, 3 of 6, Sophia Trout, Chloe Olivier, Morgan Tandy. The name seems to be cut off of lane 4, but surname van der Westhuizen. 5, Jenna Smith. 6, Yana Lombard. 7, Gabby Douglas. And 8, Sylvia DeBrain.
Flying through in the third heat.
Looks like this one from the free stage, van der Westhuizen. Followed by closely by Lombard. Ooh,
Wow, that was a very tight swim. Yana Lombard in the end, just ahead of Van der Westhuizen and Tandy grabbing third. We move over now to the 4th of 6 heats in the women's 50 backstroke. Ava Lauren van Carlin, Karen Hapst, Emma de Vet, Mila Drakopoulos, Mila van der Linde, Scarlett Nickel, Hannah Ferreira, and Kayla Post. Good start out in lane 4 by Mila Drakopoulos. Certainly has been one of the shining lights of these events over the last couple of years from KZN. And being challenged well by Karen Hatch. This is going to be very, very tight. And it is Karen Hatch capturing the winning. In fact, we've got a dead heat for first. 29.63. Karen Hatch and Drakopoulos sharing top spot. Van der Linde in third.
in the water heat number 5, Arabella Bailey Lambert, Jessica Humphrey, Olivia Null, our 100 meters backstroke champion from last night. 5, Michaela de Villiers, Cassidy Burgess, Catherine Williams, and 8, Michaela Lombard. Neck and neck between Michaela de Villiers and Olivia Null. Looks like Olivia Null with a slight lead. And it is Olivia Null 28.37, followed by de Villiers 28.61 and Jessica Humphrey 29.54.
As we move over now to the sixth and final heat of the women's 50 backstroke. I told you these races are exceptionally quick. In the water they go. Hannah Pierce, Grace De Jong, Grace Morris, Jessica Thompson, Taylor Jonker, Giselle Moritz, Jenna Spiss, and Ella May Claassen. Great start in those middle lanes. Jessica Thompson, wow, pulling away very, very well already. Something out of Ekurhuleni. Thompson looking exceptionally strong. And she will cruise to the victory, doing so in 27.94. A fantastic performance from her.
And congratulations there to Jessica Thompson in lane
It's
4.
great
for
swim
the
there by Jess.
Commonwealth qualifying
Also getting that
time.
qualification time, which was
7.94.
28.22. So well done to her.
That is amazing from Jessica Thompson. Another swimmer booking their place for Glasgow.
Next in line, we have the men 50-meter backstroke.
Moving on to event number 208. That's the men's 50-meter backstroke, heat 1 of 7. Lane 1, Jordan Harrison. 2, Blake Godfrey. 3, Troy Vessels. 4, Henning Radley. 5, Slade King. 6, Gerard February. 7, Jaden Wills. And in 8, Ethan Hamlock. Looks like Blake Godfrey out in lane number 2 won't be starting. Great start out in the middle by Henning Radley, the 18-year-old from Mpumalanga. With that being said, Slade King hot on his heels. And it is Slade King, 28.67, followed by Henning Radley, 28.73, and Troy Vessels in third, 29.68. Results of heat 1 of 7 in the men's 50 meters backstroke.
Move over now to the second heat of the men's 50 backstroke. Daniel Morrell, Connor Devon, Matthew Goller, Trent Norton, Kienta Blanche, Priya Hanacek, Adam Fratkin, and Harold Pinar. And in they go. Fast receiving time ahead of this. Swimming in lane 4, Trent Norton from the Western Cape. Nice start there from Matt. Goller swimming out of Swanet. Very good going so far. Goller is going to be challenged, and in the end, it is over. Priya Hanacek, 28.71. That was absolutely superb from him. Getting the victory. It was a closely fought affair.
Heat 3 lining up Connor Legazic, Michael Sarawa, Christian Van Eden, Nicholas Taylor, Jeremy Labuskachny, Noah Vollenslager, Patrick Lamb, Dayton Mugambe. Pretty even across the field, lane 2 to 6. I think it's Jeremy Labuskachny. And it is Christian Van Eden, 27:43, followed by Jeremy Labuskachny, 27:55, and Connor Legazic, 27:71.
As we move over now to the fourth of 7 heats in the men's 50 backstroke. Andre Lewis, Connor Fuller, Hans Besaidnout, Michael Van Eden, David Wiggett, Sean Gibson, Anthony van der Linden, and Ruan Hutton. We saw a nice performance a little earlier from David Wiggett. You see him repeat that feat, the swimmer from the waist. So nice to make one by Lewis. Going on very nicely. Going on very nicely. Michael Van Heerden. Wiggett challenging hard. And it's going to be exceptionally tight, but it looks like Michael Van Heerden takes the win 27:49 ahead of David Wiggett. And in third, Sean Gibson.
Results of Heat 5 of 7 in the men's 50 meters backstroke. Heat number 5, Luke Pretorius, Helcott Miller, Ronan Theron, Luan Barnard, Matthew Mann, Nicholas Pretorius, Luke Bestell, and in 8 we have Hayden Fish. And off they go in Heat 5 of 7 in the men's 50 meters backstroke. Good start out in the middle of the pool by Luan Barnard, the 18-year-old from Aquatics Gauteng. Looks like Barnard with a slight lead over the rest of the field. And it is Luan Barnard, 26:40, followed by Matthew Mann, 26:87, and Ronan Theron in third, 26:95. Results of heat number 5.
As we now move over to the 6th of 7 heats in the men's 50 backstroke. Gideon Volmarans, Romano Sefekle, Joshua Staden, Peter Kutsia, Krishan Esterhazen, Dakota Cooks, Claudio Dometer, and Jonathan Schiffer. Peter holding the African record in this event. And away they go. And immediately, Peter Kutsia already making his presence felt. Lovely swim so far from Peter Kutsia. And he cruises 24.54, well inside that qualifying time for Glasgow.
Thank you, Peter Kutsia.
That qualifying time was 25.11.
Qualifying time.
Had absolutely no problems whatsoever. Make it easy. That's the Olympian 24.94. Well, I've got it as 24.54 rather. At well inside that qualifying time of 25.11. Peter Kutsia, well, he was already going to Glasgow. Now he's going for a different event.
Heat 7 of 7, Frans Mahelba, Luke van Skalkwyk, Armand Landman, Ruud van Renen, Eric Kutsa, Caden Naidu, Nathan Turnip, and Aiden Spies. Coming in with the entry time of 23:26. Let's see if he can dip under that qualification time of 25:11, and he does it. 24:92.
And another Commonwealth qualifying
That's another
time
qualification
there in
time
lane
by
4.
Ruud van
Congratulations,
Renen.
Ruud van Renen.
That's 2 for 2. Him and Peter have booked their tickets. 50 back, 100 back. So well done to both of those men.
That concludes the 50-meter best backstroke for the men. Next
Congratulations,
up,
Ruud van Renen.
Women 50-meter
Another great performance from him.
multi-class.
Another event booked for Glasgow. As we now move over to the women's 50 free, S1 to S15. Also keep an eye out on Minke Janssen van Rensburg. 33.56 going into this, but she does have the world record for her specific class of 33.23. Zora Viekarif, Anya Potkida, Alani Ferreira, Danica Venka, Ivana Venka, Minke Janssen van Rensburg, Kaylee de Olivier, and Kat Swanepoel. 50-meter freestyle, S1 to S15 multi-class. Where they go. A reminder once again about that time of Minka's already owning that world record in her class, 33.23. And she is powering away to the finish. Danica Venka, 29.48. Ivana Venka, 36.2. And Alani Ferreira getting a 31.31 on the button. Minke Janssen van Rensburg, 34.
Next up, event 210, the men 50-meter freestyle multi-class.
As we move on to event number 210, the men's 50 meters freestyle S1 to 15, heat 1 of 2. Lane 1, Carl Parkin. 2, Eli Lawrence. 3, Damon Alberon. 4, Amkele Camarana. 5, Leon Kutsia. 6, Willem Leroux. And 7, JP Null. Just setting up the light for Amkela. Looks like we're good to go. And they're off in heat 1 of 2 in the men's 50 meters freestyle S1 to S15.
Swimmers for a final this afternoon. Jordan Eaton, Chad McLeod, Ruart Kakanrienen, Ty Pearson, Hayden Naidu, Chris
Great start out
Nyayo,
in lane number 5 by Leon Kutia.
Benjamin Ladner.
Leon coming in with a time of 28.64. And it is Leon with the long glide into the finish there. 27.83. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that swim. Followed by Amkele Camarana, 28.68. And Damon Alberon, 29.43. All smiles by Leon. As we said, great time there by him, dipping under that 28-second mark.
Moving on to the 53 multi-class, the second of 2 heats. And the men S1 to S15. And the water they go to Kazani Janita in lane 1. Luan Portkira to Christian Sadi, Nathan Hendricks, Tianta Blanche, James Pardo, and James Willows. Of course, a lot of these swimmers have already been in action. Nathan Hendricks, man, this guy has just gone from strength to strength and doing so once again. A brilliant swim from Nathan Hendricks, coming home in the time of 25.29. Tianta Blanche very much in the mix. Another great swim from Christian Sadi, the man from the Western Cape. Here we have confirmation of those times as we say goodbye to the 50-meter competitors. And we welcome over the relays now. We're going to have the 4x100 freestyle mixed relays. 2 heats. Before we go on stuff a little later. Women's and men's 1500.
Great swim there by Christian Sadi in the men's 50-meter freestyle S1 to S15. Having a chat to his coach a little bit earlier, Keith telling me that the 50-meter freestyle is a Commonwealth qualification event in the multi-class. So Christian needed a time of 29.5 in order to be top 3 in the Commonwealth, and he went 28.95. So well done to Christian on that great swim. As the officials make their way to the other end of the pool, in the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay up next.
And we are ready to move on to the 2 heats of event 213, the mixed 4x100 meter freestyle relay.
In 2, we have the team from KZN, 3 Western Cape C team, 4 Western Cape A team, 5 Aquatics Gauteng Ekululeni A team, 6 Aquatics Gauteng Johannesburg A team. Looks like lane 3 has pulled out, so that's the Western Cape C team.
So, the first of 2 mixed 4x100 freestyle relays. Good start. Over in lane 5, Jonathan Brady for Ekurhuleni. Also looking good. Over in lane 2, KZNA. And they do the handover. And it is KZNA leading the way, making the handover at 51.83. Wow, very powerful performance so far from KZNA. Shay van der Linde.
It's followed by Western Cape A team and Aquatics Gauteng Ekululeni A team.
And the ladies are about to take to the water now. Shannon Hugo from KZN. And she makes her entrance into the pool. KZNA leading the way, followed by Ekurhuleni and Western Cape. What a powerful performance so far from the team from KZNA. Van Kunat, Shane van der Linde, now Shannon Hugo. And she's about to hand over to Baylord, the fourth and final participant. Over in lane 5, Ekurhuleni A starting to make a big comeback. This is a fantastic fight back from Ekurhuleni. But KZNA is slow holding on to their lead, only just in the water goes Bailey Lambert. And being tested brilliantly by Morgan Tandy. And Morgan Tandy from Ekurhuleni putting the fight to Bailey Lambert. KZNA still out in front. And this looks like a great swim from the team from KZNA as they make their way through to a resounding victory in the first of 2 4x100 mixed freestyle relays.
It's a great comeback there by the Western Cape A team to touch in second place, and third place we had Aquatics Gauteng Johannesburg. As we wait for Heat 1 to leave the pool deck, so Heat 2 can make their way onto the pool deck. Swimmers in Heat 2 of 2. Lane 2, we have the team from Free State A. 3, Aquatics Gauteng Tshwane B. 4, Aquatics Gauteng Tshwane A. 5, Western Cape B. 6, Eastern Cape A. 7, Aquatics Gauteng Ekuleni B.
Final of 2 heats in the mix 4x100 freestyle relay.
Seem to be missing lane 5. That's Western Cape B team.
And in they go from lanes 2 through to 7. Free State A, Tshwane B, Tshwane A, Western Cape B, Eastern Cape A, and Ekurhuleni B.
Commonwealth qualifying time. Olivia Nell, Kayla de Villiers, Taylor Jonker, Grace Morris, Jessica Humphrey, Milan Ropolis, and Erin Hans.
Very good start out in lane 4 by Tshwane A.
Mila van der Linde, Emma de Wit, Grace de Jong, Katie Lambert, Giselle Maritz, Arabella Bailey. First reserve will be Catherine Williams.
Tshwane A well out in front.
Please remember this
Ahead of the first handover.
will close in 15 minutes.
A great swim there by Arno Kruger, 51.63.
Armand Bluntman in the water now for Tshwane A. Tshwane A well clear of the pack for now. Saw KZN capture the earlier victory in the opening heat of this event. Tshwane B trying to hunt them down in the form of Adrian van Beek. It is Armand Bluntman well ahead of the pack. Pretty much a body length as he does the handover. Juliana Venke now. Great performance so far from Tshwane A. Making the turn. 3 lengths of the pool to go in this 4x100 mixed freestyle relay.
Yes, extending the lead is Lisa Kutsia. She'll be handing over to Rachel Kupis. In the water she goes.
So final leg. Tshwane A still maintaining that big lead. Look at the difference now. Turning for the final time and doing so in 3:09.27. Hunting home China A will cruise to the victory in this, the second and final heat of the mixed 4x100 freestyle. Doing so in a time of 3:40:39. A tremendous performance from China A. And it was China B capturing second. And over in lane 6, a team from Eastern Cape grabbing third. So we say farewell to our relay competitors as we welcome the swimmers for the final event of the morning session. It is the 1500s. First up, women, then men.
That concludes the relays
One of the
for
long
morning.
events.
Next up, we have the women 1500
First up,
meter freestyle.
4 competitors about to take to the water. Tandy Bosman, Emily Klein, Zariah Venter, and Anya Beitendach. It's going to be about 18 minutes of swimming. You can enjoy the action. And in they go. Enjoy the action for the next 18 or so minutes. "30 laps of swimming commencing. Tandy Bosman in lane 3, Emily Klein in lane 4, Zariah Fent in 5, and Anya Beitendach in 6. Enjoy.
That's 3 more laps to go for the swimmer out in lane number 4, Amelie Klein, the 16-year-old from Aquatics Gauteng, Tshwane. Dominating this field, she's coming in with an entry time of 17:55.68. We will hear the bell shortly for Amelie, which means 2 more lengths to go. That's 100 meters to go. Amelie turning in a time of 16:21.61. Followed by Zuriah Fenter and Anya Baitenduk. Commanding lead by the swimmer out in lane 4, Amelie Klein, as she turns for the last 50 meters. Zuriah Fenter getting the bell with 100 meters to go. And Anya Baitendung currently in third position. What a swim by Amelie Klein, touching in a time of 17:30.01, smashing her entry time of 17:55. Take a bow, Amelie Klein. Coming home now, we have Zuriah Fenter with 15 meters to go, followed by Anya Baitendunk and Tandy Bosman. Zuriah Fenter 18:25.74, followed by Anya Baitendunk 18:31.54, and Tandy Bosman 18:32.90. Results of Heat 1 in the women's 1500 meter freestyle. So Heat number 2 In the ladies 1500 meters freestyle, we'll see them swimming a little bit later. Moving on to event number 212, that's the men's 1500 meters freestyle.
And that concludes the women 1500 meter
Heat.
freestyle for this morning.
Lane 2, Clayton
Next up,
Kassebaum.
our
3,
last
Heinrich
event for the
Skuman.
morning
4,
session, we
Kellen
have
Jones. 5,
men
Ethan Dutton.
1500 meter
6, Connor
freestyle.
Albertine. And 7, Jake Balaguero. Kellen Jones coming in with the fastest entry time, the 16-year-old from the Eastern Cape, 16:58.64. Let's see if we can help more swimmers get under that 17-minute mark. And they're off in heat 1 of 1 in the men's 1500 meters freestyle. So that's 30 laps of the pool.
With his Commonwealth qualifying time, and also Ruan van Reenen with his Commonwealth qualifying time. We also have Luan Barnard, Armand Landman, Eric Potser, Nathan Turpin, Luke van Schweik, Matthew Mann, and Francois Malherbe. The final, Ronan Tron, Alfred Miller, Christian Esterhuizen, Hayden Naidu, Christian van Eden, Hayden Fish, Michael van Eden. First reserve will be Luke Pretorius. Second reserve, Jeremy Labuschagne. Please remember the scratches for this event will close in 30 minutes.
Connor Albertine turning in a 59.54, followed by Kellen Jones, 1 minute point 36, and Heinrich Skuman currently in third position. And it still is Connor Albertine turning at the 400-meter mark, 4:13.62, followed by Heinrich Skuman, 4:18.88, and Kellen Jones in third, 4:19.05. Connor Albertine having a great swim out in lane number 6, the 22-year-old from Aquatics Gauteng, 200 meters to go, looking very strong. So it's Connor Albertine followed by Kellen Jones and Heinrich Skuman currently in third position. Connor with about 120 meters to go. We're going to hear the bell shortly for him. That means 2 laps of the pool left. And it's all Albertine. 100 meters to go, 15:07.19.
Yeah, no surprise regarding Connor Albertine. Of course, he is a man who loves his long distance swimming. Open water specialist.
Kellen Jones and Heinrich Skuman with 100 to go. Connor's going to smash his entry time, coming in with a time of 17:05.72. Looks like it should be under 16:15 comfortably.
Yeah, lovely performances from Connor Albertine coming through to touch for the finish, doing so in a time of 16:08.88. Connor Albertine capturing victory in this men's 1500 free heat. Terrific performance from him. Earned himself a rest after 30 laps of swimming. Insane distance for these men and ladies. The battle is on for second place. A nice finish here over in lane 4. That is a great performance from Kellen Jones. Will capture second in a time of 16:42.68 for Eastern Cape, ahead of Heinrich Skuman, 16:44.60. But it was Connor Albertine, the man to triumph here in the men's 1500 free.
Jake Bolagero just missing out on going under that 17-minute mark, 17:01.88.
Final swimmer coming through now. Over in lane 2, Clayton Kassabaum finishing his event. A reminder once again, 30 laps of swimming they had to take on. And that pretty much wraps it up as far as the morning is concerned with the heats. Confirmation of those results. It was Connor Albertine leading from start to finish. A terrific performance from him. 16:08.88. Kellen Jones, a local man, finishing just ahead of Heinrich Skuman. So a great morning of swimming here in Quebec at Newton Park Swimming Pool. Day 2 of the Bombela Concession Campiesa National Swimming Championships. Already a couple of swimmers having confirmed their participation for Glasgow in the heats. No doubt there'll be plenty more a little later this evening for the finals taking place from 5 o'clock. And that is us done and dusted. Thank you so much, Chanel.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you a bit later.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Well done to all the swimmers. Well done to all the officials, the sponsors. Has been a terrific morning of swimming for this, the second day of the Bombela Concession Campiesa National Swimming Championships 2026. Yeah, in Quebec. If you're on there, make sure to make your way to the area, to the venue for the final at 5 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you a little later.
2026. See everyone this afternoon.